I quite like starting with that. That was cool. Anyway, good morning. Hello, everyone. Welcome to THFC, to your guide home of Tottenham past, present, and hopefully an exciting future. Joining me this morning on the bit of breaking news that's why we're going to narrow it earlier because we couldn't sit on this news any earlier. It's my usual co-host, the man himself, the Godfather, Mr. Philip Brady. How are you this morning, Philip? And how are you about this breaking news we're about to break to everyone?
Yeah, I must say it's come out of nowhere, really, and but I've just been checking up on this particular guy in the last few minutes now, and I tell you, this guy is a proven winner, absolute winner. He's won at every level. He's won trophies galore, and I'll leave it up to you to break his name to the public.
Yeah. Well, this is what it is. I can confirm that Levy has met with Xabi Alonso to discuss the vacant role at Spurs. He is very interested in the position. This one could be the one that sticks. Philip, that is the breaking news this morning that we could have Xabi Alonso as our new Tottenham Hotspur manager. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, okay. The one drawback I've been able to find about him, he was a childhood friend of Lego Man. But I'm sure that will come to an end if he's managing his opposition down the road. But yeah, I mean, this guy, he's 41 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
Just a brief rundown of his career. He's won 114 caps for Spain. He played 143 games for Liverpool. He played 158 games for Real Madrid and 79 games for Bayern Munich. And among those games, he won the FA Cup, the UEFA Super Cup, and the Champions League with Liverpool. He won La Liga and Copa del Rey and the Champions League with Real Madrid, and he won 3 Bundesligas with Bayern Munich. So the guy knows what the trophy cabinet is.
He does. He does. And also, Philip, he used to play for Liverpool, didn't he? He's an ex-Liverpool legend.
Oh, he was a member. He was a member of that miraculous 2005 Champions League winning team. In fact, when he took a penalty in the shootout there, and apparently it's the first penalty they've taken.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that was an incredible Champions League final, to be fair.
It was.
It really was. I mean, to come back from 3-0 down is something. If you can bring some of that to Tottenham. Now,
we did it on Sunday, almost.
Yeah, nearly.
Almost.
Nearly.
Yeah.
I have put a poll in the chat. Would you be happy if Alonso as Spurs manager? So please let us know what you think. Should we welcome some people in, Philip, and we can start getting on with the show because we've got a few bits of news to get through. We've got the Daniel Levy news that broke yesterday that he does get involved with transfer policies at Tottenham from the chief man that was on TalkSport with Jim White and Simon Jordan yesterday. And also Simon Jordan has put out criticising Daniel Levy for calling Harry Kane a legend. So we've got that to go through as well. But also we're going to discuss this about I know you love Simon Jordan deep down. I know deep down you love TalkSport, Philip, but we'll get on to your love of TalkSport later.
Rather have the chronic plague.
Anyway, big up to FTM column. Big up. It says afternoon. All. I hope you're doing well and I hope you have a lovely day, sir. We've got Jim Boxwell till I die. Morning, gents. Morning, Jim. How are you, sir? Hope you and your lovely wife, Kate, are doing well. I've got Stephen Thomas. Unless Levy goes, no manager will bring in success to us. Afternoon all. That's a little bit. I don't know. Things might change.
We'll see.
We've got 164 Spur. Big up Dermot and Phil. Big up 164 Spur. And we've got Jim Boxwell. Spurs till I die. Great footballer, but but I know nothing about his management. Now, Philip, do you want to bring up people where he's managed and where he is at the moment?
He retired from football in 2017 at Bayern Munich. I suppose he went on holiday for a year or so. He took over at Real Sociedad in Spain in 2019, and he stayed there for 3 years almost. And then he moved on to Bayer Leverkusen in 2022, and he's taken them up to 6th in the Bundesliga. He's noted for playing an attacking brand of football, possession-based football. And while he hasn't won any trophies as a manager yet, I mean, his fact that he's such a serial winner as a player will rub off on. They have the type of experience. Like he'd be like a Vincent Kompany type person in the dressing room. He knows how to get to the final and get to win things. So while he might be that experienced as a manager, he had a long career as a player and a successful one. So like of all he's 41 years of age. I think that's going to help him because I think Levy is probably a little bit worried that Nagelsmann's too young. Nagelsmann's only 35. You might think he's a bit too young. The company's 37. So maybe this is the kind of maturity that Iman's like. Plus the fact, I don't think he's going to have a huge buyout clause in his contract as well, being a relatively new manager. I can't imagine that being too expensive. So that could be attractive to Daniel as well, you know.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. We've got Brian Maguire. Big up, Brian. He says, Levy in it won't change. We've got Daniel Sandoval joining us. Morning to all the panel. One love. Big up, Daniel. I still love your picture of Maradona in the Spurs shirt. If only him and Ozzy and Ricky played in the same team. Can you imagine that, Philip?
I don't know. Cool. That'll be something else, wouldn't it?
We've got Kate Boxwell. Big up, Kate. Morning. She says, morning, Derm. And then we've got Shamu from all the way from lovely New Zealand. Any manager news, Dermot? Yeah, we are. We're getting Ted Lasso in as manager. He's no, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not.
Oh, dear.
No, we're not.
Yeah,
I break it to you, Ted. I can confirm that Levy has met Xabi Alonso to discuss the vacant role at Spurs. He is very interested in that position. This one could one stick. Now I'm going to leave that up there for anyone that joins us to get that confirmation. Now, Philip, we know Spurs have been searching for a manager for a while. Now we know Levy's under all sorts of pressure as well. And it came out in TalkSport yesterday with the Jim White and Simon Jordan show, which I know you listen to every day intensely. You never miss a show. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, no, this is like a bit of a joke with me and Philip now, with him and Sky. And they had there, and this would have come out that, and let me take that off. That expert scout reveals Daniel Levy blocked deals that could have helped Pochettino. Now, this man, he was the chief scout. He was the chief transfer person. Well, the top scout from the under-17s to the senior team. And that Daniel Levy blocked moves when Pochettino wanted people to come in. Now, what's your reaction to that, Philip? And what's your reaction to, does this blow the myth that Daniel Levy is not meddling in club affairs where he shouldn't be really meddling?
Sure, he's the chair. Like, it's always been known Daniel Levy, man. This isn't new news. This is rehashed old news. We all knew Daniel Levy blocked transfers. We know that he blocked Jack Grealish because he wouldn't pay an extra couple of million to Villa. So this to me sounds like a bit of sour. On my favourite radio program, it sounds like a bit of somehow with a bit of sour grapes, having a go at Daniel Levy. But I think we all knew that it's like Sadio Mane was another one that was supposed to be coming to Spurs and didn't end up coming because Levy blocked it. So yeah, I mean, it's the old adage: is the Pope a Catholic? Really, you know, the Daniel Levy meddle in transfers. It's the same thing. Of course he does. He's the chairman. He's the one that writes the checks. So he's going to be involved. He's got to give the final go ahead before anything's spent in that club. So I think that's really what it is, and I'm not a bit surprised to hear that. I knew it already.
No, but even there was players in the building, Philip, that he turned around and said, "Right, we're not going through with this deal." There was the likes of Jack Grealish and who was the other player? Jack Grealish and
William's another one. That was a bit further back.
Jack Grealish and who the hell was the other player?
Sadio Mane was there.
That's it. They were in the door. They were.
Well, I don't know if Jack Grealish ever physically at the club. Mane won. Maybe Grealish was. I don't know. But it's because he wouldn't agree to pay the full transfer fee. That's it. You know. And the rest is history. Look what Mane went ahead and did with Liverpool. Okay, I know he's blotted his copybook now at Bayern Munich, but look what Grealish is doing for City. So just shows you a little bit of foresight back in the day could have benefited Spurs immensely, but didn't.
And it could have changed our directory where we went. Do you know what I
mean? Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
We've got a few people in the comments here, Philip. Big up Ben Kaufman, purple and gold until Tottenham are sold. I am very grateful for the Rex for Tourism support everyone showing my county. It is really grateful.
I could put my county up as well. It could be green and gold until Spurs are sold. So the same thing, you know, but I'm not. I'll leave you at it.
There you go, Philip. Look, there's your county there.
Oh, right. Keep going.
Yes, I am very grateful. The Rexford Tourism Board are extremely happy with the new bit of advertising we're getting at the moment. So. Big up, Ben, though. Big up, Ben. Ben says Diablo and Mane.
Dybala, yeah. Sadio Mane, yeah.
Kate says Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah. At least physically may not have been at the ground, but they were physically coming to Tottenham until Levy intervened.
Yeah.
Kim Min-jae,
Ajay, another one.
Yeah.
Shamu says Cavadonna, 10 million.
I don't know who that now is. I don't, that, is that,
Yeah.
I don't know who that one is now.
No, we could have had Skriniar, but Levy wouldn't pay the money.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah,
Yeah, another one. What was it? Ben Kaufman said Tottenham might as well be Wexford because I don't recognise it anymore. Listen, you leave my county alone. Look, we're the finest county in Ireland. Dave Harris knows we're the number one county in Ireland
great
for
strawberries down there. Great
Yeah, yeah.
strawberries.
See,
Yeah.
we're the best county in Ireland. We're like the Monaco of the southeast of Ireland. Everyone knows that. Even Philip Brady will come down here and say it's the Monaco of Ireland. Of course it is. We're like the Monte Carlo. Of course it is.
Right, okay. Whatever you say, Dan. Whatever you
That's
say.
for another show. That's for another show.
Hmm.
Adrian Chart, you should clip Simon Jordan's expressions. I would love to do that. I actually will try to do that if I can. I might get some help with that, but that's something I want to do. We've got Mick Harmlick in. Big up Mick. Good afternoon, Dermot and Philip.
Hi, Nick.
Tony Young says the best times we had were under Bill and Keith. In that time, no sport, all British players except Ozzy and Ricky tells you everything you need an English manager and British players. Philip, it says, going back to the Xabi Alonso news, that it looks more like it's 80-90% done that he will be our new manager if things go right. Do you think we're missing the trick by not getting in a British manager, or do you think that the day of the British manager actually has gone?
Can you name one British manager that would be suitable for Tottenham at the moment?
The man who should not be named.
No,
that
isn't.
should not be named.
No, he's not. He's not. No, leave him out. He's not suitable. I'm talking suitable managers. There's no manager that's not in gainful employment at the minute that would be suiting to Tottenham. And it's that's the problem. Foreign footballers and foreign coaches have literally taken over the Premiership at the moment. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it is. If I was a young lad coming through the academy of any club now, I'd be fearful for my future, because how many of them are going to break into the team ahead of the likes of Porro or Kulichevsky or whatever? They're not going to do it. Occasionally they will, but no, it's tough. That's a throwback to the 80s there, really. You're talking about Bill Nicholson and but Kate says, everyone says, a great business with Levy is we let Grealish go. But that's exactly what we're talking about. There was a couple of million in the difference. And they could have made 100 million for him. Yeah. But that's short-sightedness on his behalf. He should have seen. He was only looking at the picture at the time. He wasn't looking to the future.
I mean, the place we could have got Philip under that. I mean, look, what do you want to see? If it is Xabi Alonso, what do you think will be on his to-do list on day one?
I want to see a manager or a coach or whatever he wants to call himself that knows enough about the Tottenham way of playing football. I do not want to see us sitting back, letting teams come at us and hope to get them on the break. That kills me. It absolutely kills me. And it's been that way under Mourinho and Conte. And I just don't want it anymore. I want a manager that is going to make teams fearful of playing Tottenham. That we come at them from the start, we attack. I keep going back to the 16-17 season. That, to me, was the catalyst of what Spurs team should be like. We should be blowing teams away for fun, and nobody wanted to come and play us.
No.
Because they knew what was going to happen. That's the way I want to see it. But Xabi is going to have to get the backing of the manager, or the chairman, I should say, to get the players in that can achieve that. Because the present squad can't do it. There's got to be trimming of that squad to get rid of the dead wood and bring in fresh legs, fresh ideas. And it might take a season or two, but if he gets the right purchases, I think the future is bright for us. This is why this is such an important appointment. This is crucial.
I mean, Tony Young makes a point here. Who knew about Keith Bergenshire? Who knew about Arsene Wenger when they came in?
That's 40 years ago.
Yeah, but I'm just making the point, Philip. It may be 40 years ago, but I'm making the point that they both didn't have very much managerial experience. And look what Keith Bergenshire succeeded at our club, and look what Arsene Wenger did down the road. So a manager doesn't have to be like a Conte or a Mourinho. As you said, he's a serial winner as a player, so that should rub off on the players in itself. So, do you think we're right to go for the right manager, even if he has got experience or lack of experience?
I mean, you go for there's managers. Most of the good managers are in employment now that probably don't want to leave their clubs. Like at the moment, if you were managing a really top club like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, would you even Nagelsmann, who's not working at the moment, would you leave those jobs to come to Tottenham the way things are at the minute? Probably not.
No.
I want a manager that's ambitious, right? That's not scared of a challenge, right? That knows he's going to have difficulty dealing with the chairman, right? That's why he has to get his terms of reference sorted out before he takes the job. And I think if Xabi Alonso is that man, and let's face it, they've checked him out, they've done psychological profiles on him, I'm sure they've done everything on him to make sure that he is the right man for the job. And maybe that wasn't done so much in Conte or Mourinho's case because those guys had won things before, and we just assumed they were going to carry on and do the same at Tottenham, which was not the way. This guy is a fresh-faced manager, and they're backing on his past reputation rather as a player rather than a footballer, than a manager. So from that point of view, it is really, really vital that they get this one right. And I'm happy to see Alonso coming in the frame. Like I was moving towards Company, but I don't think Company is going to come to us. I think he's going to stick with Burnley. So if that's the case, then and Nagelsmann is having doubts over the director of football role, if Xabi Alonso is interested in the job, sign him up.
Yeah, I did. What would you sign them on? Would you sign them on a 2-year contract, 18-month contract? Would you sign them on a longer deal? What would you do?
Probably no point giving them a long deal. Probably 2.5 to 3 years. 3 years, probably. Yeah, I don't think he'd be. Like it's a bit like the Watford manager. They signed him on 2-week contracts. I don't give him too long a contract. But if it works out, he can extend it. If it doesn't, he's not going to cost too much to get rid of him.
No, well, Big Sam's already gone to Leeds. We've missed out on him now. So
shucks! I didn't sleep a wink last night when I heard that.
No, I know. We were, you and me were up all hours, just talking about crying over Big Sam going to Leeds. That's a shock, though, isn't it, Philip? Just quickly talking on that.
Well, there's a friend of mine he's a huge, and this won't mean anything to anybody outside Ireland. He's a huge St Patrick's Athletic fan. He's president of the club, and he's a huge Leeds United fan. So yesterday he had a unique experience of managers of both his teams sacked in the one day, which is probably never going to happen again anywhere, you know. So I mean, Sam Allardyce will probably do a good job at Leeds, but I'll tell you one thing: I wouldn't fancy playing Leeds over the next few weeks. They're going to kick the lumps out of anybody they're playing.
So
we have to play them on the last day of the season.
I know. So would that mean Everton could be guaranteed to go down then?
Well, I wouldn't say they're guaranteed to go down, but it's going to be a slogging match for them. Like Everton played very well against Leicester. That was actually really one of the best matches I've seen all season. It was Leicester and Everton on Monday night there. It was brilliant.
To be fair, Philip, it's been a weird Premier League season, hasn't it? It really
and it's been caused. You know, some of the cause the World Cup caused it.
Yeah.
The World Cup. I knew this would be a very disruptive season for a lot of teams, and it's proved that way. Like you'd never think you see Everton in the relegation zone.
No,
really, And you never think you see Arsenal top of the league either, which is an even bigger shock. But it has been a very disruptive season. I'll be glad to get back to normality next year.
Yeah, I was just thinking the other day, we're coming to the end of the season and we're getting excited now for a World Cup that isn't happening. The World Cup should be in the summer. Yeah. People seem to forget the World Cup was in December. Very quickly, Philip, before we go back to the Tottenham news, the groups come out for the Nations League yesterday.
Right.
And the Republic have a little derby coming up, shall we say, because Ireland and Northern Ireland have been drawn in the same Nations League group.
Oh, God, that'll be good. That'll be fun. Well,
and that should be fun.
I think back to 1993, I think it was, when we had to go up to Belfast to qualify for the World Cup in '94. And that's back in the day when things were not good. And the rivalry is still there. I mean, there's still... Like, I think the way it is, and explain to anybody again that might know, in the Republic of Ireland, everybody follows the soccer team. Whether you're Catholic, Protestant, Jewish, Muslim, everything, you all follow the soccer team. In the north of Ireland, it's almost exclusively the loyalist Protestant population that follow the soccer team. Yeah, the rest of them, and it means for a lot of there will be an awful lot of tribalism when that game takes place, and a lot of security. And I'm looking forward to that one. Should be very good. They're not as good as us anyway, so you know.
Would our season tickets cover that? Do you think, Philip?
No, we have to buy new ones. We've only got season tickets for this particular tournament.
Oh, just for this season?
Yeah. Ours it's only a 4-match thing. I think a 4 or 5 match.
Including the
That's about
friendlies.
the Gibraltar and Holland are the next two.
I can't wait for the Holland game.
Yeah,
I'm
me
looking
too.
forward to it. We will do actually for that game. Me and Philip will do a match day blog for that because we will be meeting up.
I mean,
And
you didn't see the seat we're sitting in. You want to bring your
I'm
mountaineering outfit with you. It's in the very back of the stand. You literally, you nearly oxygen was so high up. Brilliant
you know
seat
what?
now, I have to say.
Yeah,
But getting
yeah.
to it is like going to the mountaineering class.
To be fair, Philip, I'm not the fittest person in the world. To be honest, and you know that
Well,
yourself.
I didn't like to say that now, but maybe we should we'll get a rope and pulley system and pull you up.
I'm not that fat. Feck off.
No, I'm saying it'd be like going mountaineering, climbing up to that. It's very steep, and literally up that way,
Um. Oh dear. Oh gee. Me and Dave were just going to sit in the disabled area.
Oh no, Dave has to make it up as well. He's in the road
No,
front.
I've got my wheelchair. I've actually got a wheelchair yesterday because of my back, so now I can sit in the
Oh yeah,
disabled area.
you might get a decent seat.
Yeah, so Dave would be my carer. You and Dave. Poor old Ollie will have to sit by himself.
Oh dear.
Ollie Billy Nomis. So big up Ollie if you're watching. No disrespect, man. Yeah. So Shamu's asking, I will get that for you later, actually, the rest of the groups for you. What was it going? Oh yeah, that's what's good. John Fitzpatrick, big up John. Hope he says Levy out. And he says Talksport exposed Levy, loved it. Look, Philip, it was exposing him yesterday. They're saying
Yeah, it was.
what he's like as a chairman, how he runs Tottenham. Do you think the chairman's role has changed over the years for where it used to be a chairman used to be a chairman, but now, or do you think it's just exclusively Levy doing what no other chairman does in the whole of the Premier League?
Well, he's probably. I wouldn't say there's too many chairmen as hands-on as he is now. But I mean, the chairman of football from back in the day, back in the 70s or 60s, whatever it was, he was probably the local butcher who invested a few bob in the team and suddenly became chairman. But that was it. It was more or less only an honorary role. It was no actual legislative role in the club. Daniel Levy, even down to the rubber casters on the chairs in the boardroom of the new stadium, he was involved in every single thing that happens in that club. So he is probably unique in that respect. I don't think any other chairman is as hands-on. And I know he's been exposed on Talksport, but they've only told other people what we've known for a long time. Really, it's not new to us. It's new to other people that mightn't have taken an interest in Spurs too much. They're probably wondering how the hell that team survived with him in charge.
Look, we've got some news here. I'm trying to find something else. I do when you're talking about this, Philip. I'm looking for the Nations League groups. Now Simon Jordan again has criticised Daniel Levy for calling Harry Kane a legend. And this is what he said. There has been big games in big times when Harry Kane has been non-visible. Simon Jordan slams Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy for calling the England captain a legend, claiming the striker has been a contributing factor to the lack of silverware. Jordan told Talksport, as a commercial animal who looks at the football club in a certain way, I don't like banding around the terms like legend. I let the fans do that or let the media do that. I think when the owner starts doing it, you fall into a scenario of trying to please people because Daniel will view Harry Kane in a certain way where there is a job to do when there's a certain way where he's there to do a job. Philip, do you agree with Simon Jordan that bit that it should be down to other people to call Harry Kane a legend, not Daniel Levy's job to call him a legend?
Can I curse? Do you mind if I swear?
We're half an hour into. I've never heard you curse before, so go ahead.
Absolute bollocks. Simon Jordan it's a wonder he can even spell the word legend. He's a legend. He's not a legend. Harry Kane, top scorer for Tottenham, right? Record scorer for England, England's captain, a talisman and a role model for any young footballer who wants to come along. I'll tell you one thing. If I had a choice between following Simon Jordan or Harry Kane, right? I know who I'd follow. Simon Jordan is a failed football chairman. He fucked up Crystal Palace, and now he's trying to make a name for himself on TalkSport. Jesus Christ, man! What do you want? What is a legend? Harry Kane is a legend. It doesn't matter if I say it, you say it, Daniel Levy says it, Daniel Levy's cat says it. He is a legend, always will be. And the sad thing is, it's guys like Jordan that build up the hatred against Harry Kane in England.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's England captain. These people should be bowing at his feet and getting spitting at him instead. It's unbelievable how Harry Kane is not a role model like Gary Lineker was years ago when he was scoring goals for fun. Harry Kane is treated as, especially Liverpool. I mean, they hate him in Liverpool. Like as I said the other day, I saw on a Liverpool Twitter. If it was Harry Kane that did that kick on Oliver Skip on Sunday, that happened before a firing squad the next morning. You know.
Yeah.
But Jordan is just trying to be sensational and trying to make a name for himself, and that's why I don't listen to TalkSport. I really don't listen to them. If I did, I'd be going through 3 radios a week, throwing them at the wall.
Make me laugh. You make me laugh. Oh Lord. Okay. He's our all-time top scorer. So of course he's he's a legend. He is. Tequila, big up Tequila, says Xabi Alonso. Seriously? Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
he has spoken to Levy. He's spoken to Levy, and that is confirmed. So watch this one go. I think, from what I'm hearing, you might be looking at a new manager by the end of the week, if not sooner. He's an all-time top scrum. Yeah, he is. Remember, it says when Sugar met Klinsmann on his yacht in Monaco. Yeah. Philip was there that day. He was serving the wine.
It was, yeah.
It's great to see Rent a Gob Jordan lost for words.
Well, that's a brilliant description of him. Absolutely brilliant description. Rent a Gob. Himself and Jason Conde are the 2 greatest mouths. And do you know how I compare them with? Your man in Fox News in America that got sacked last week, Tucker Carlson. It doesn't matter what he says. It's never the truth. Just they're looking for sensationalism and looking for ratings. That's all it is.
We've got Corey Boy saying no top manager will want to come to us as we ruin managers with the proven track records. He's got a point there, Philip, hasn't he?
Yeah, but then again, Xabi Alonso hasn't got a proven track record. He's an up-and-coming manager.
Yeah.
And they're taking a chance on him. Let's face it, it is taking a chance. But I think if you are looking at a player, say Xabi Alonso was an ordinary bog standard player who'd gone through his career for 15, 20 years and won nothing. Look at the honours list that Xabi Alonso has got. That guy knows where the winners enclosure is.
Yeah. We've got Jim Boxwell. The thing about Kane is, without Kane, where would Spurs be? Yeah. And off the pitch, he is a role model. Every parent would want their kid to look up to the modern day Roy the Rovers.
Absolutely. I mean, you don't find him in nightclubs sniffing cocaine or putting laughing gas up his nose. You know, he's a family man. He's got no, as far as I'm concerned, he's a bloody saint. You know, I don't think there's anything you can fault Harry Kane on. Apart from playing for Tottenham and scoring goals for fun, which is jealousy is an awful lot of this anti-Kane stuff as well. Everyone else wishes they had them. You can be sure if Harry Kane signed for Manchester United in the summer, the hate meter would go back to 0 nearly from that end of the country, you know?
Yeah, that's so true, Philip. That is so true. So where do you think this Xabi Alonso thing will go? Where do you think it's going to go next?
Well, if he says he's interested in the club, it's now up to the club to try and firm it up. If he's the guy they want, unless he's 1 or 2 or 3 that they're talking to. Like I did hear the slot guy from Feyenoord has been mentioned as well, who's walking away with the Dutch league at the minute. So he was another one that might have been in the frame. Nagelsmann seems to have dropped out of the running a little bit because his concerns were over the director of football role. So he seems to have gone down the pecking order a bit, you know. So I've actually 1 second.
No, that's okay. I got comments to ring out here. So did Conte and Mourinho. But we still never win anything. We need someone who loves our club and has a connection to our club. That I agree with, Kate. I really, really do agree with. We can keep going back to managers where they have big reputations but no connection to our club. So if you're looking for someone to connection to our club, you're probably looking at bringing in Robbie Keane as an assistant. Have sort of like the Liverpool old model. You've got Ledley King at the club. You've got Ryan Mason at the club. You've got you could bring in Robbie Keane as well into the setup, though he is become Big Sam's assistant up in Leeds. But you could bring him into the setup. You've got Jermaine Defoe in the setup. Bring them all within the coaching staff. So the players, that the coaching staff and the manager knows what it means to do the Tottenham way. And if Xabi Alonso is that man and he brings in the right people around them that have got Tottenham connections, we could have, like, if he leaves, then the next manager within that coaching staff can take over and bring it up to the next level. But he knows what the blueprint is. So, Kate, you make a very good point there. You really do. We've got Peter M says, big up Dermot and Philip. Talking BS about sport is fair enough. Telling lies about political ranters is a threat to democracy.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I was only comparing them not so much for the content, but just what they say. You know, they're talking for the sake of ratings rather than the sake of truth.
Right. So, what's he talking about? The Tucker thing or the
Tucker Carlson? As far as Tucker Carlson is still concerned, the election in America in 2020 was fixed. Still is fixed. You know,
right.
And the moon is made of green cheese. You know,
yeah, and Martians are and Daniel Levy's a Martian, really, for
exactly.
Mars.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That would make an awful lot of sense if he was, because he looks like a Mars. I got an awful lot of thick yesterday, Philip, for having to go about people with bald heads, right?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, and I stick by what I said. I do not trust somebody with a bald head. I'm sorry. You look at Daniel Levy.
You're in dangerous territory there, boy.
That's just Daniel Levy, by the way.
Did you employ the bodyguard yet? You did?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I've even got. Mia has even done me a little done me.
I saw it.
Yeah. Kate says, Derm and I are joining Baldus Anonymous. The amount of fun I got out of that yesterday was so funny, though, Philip. It really was. And he says, I was just about to describe. No, we love you, Joe. Nothing against you. It's Daniel Levy I don't like. Anyway, please subscribe, Joe. We love you in the comments. You make some really good comments. So, yeah, I've dogged myself out of that hole just about. Peter M, I don't trust people who speak dead languages like Latin.
Yeah. Audere S for Kerry, you know, the Spurs motto is in Latin.
Spurs motto is Peter M says, my dad is bald, one of the best. Yeah, I'm not saying all bald men are bad. I'm just saying
you've opened up a can of worms here, boy. You really have opened up a can of worms here.
I'm just saying Daniel Levy is bad. What? You don't trust
Oh dear.
I do trust him. I just don't trust Daniel Levy. Oh dear. Oh, what have I done now? Oh, Philip, can you dig me out of this hole?
No, you got yourself into this, boy. I'm saying nothing. I'm keeping on the fence on this one. I'm really keeping on the fence.
All right. Let's go back to Tottenham. Dermot, this club is broken from top to bottom. Doesn't matter who the next manager. Without a proper plan in place, we'll go nowhere. Yeah, John Fitzpatrick, big up John Fitzpatrick, my Irish brother. He hits the ball on the head, doesn't he? The ball on the head. Sorry, I meant the ball.
We'll keep trying the ball on the head. We'll keep trying until we get it right. We're going to get it right some stage. We have to. It's just the law of averages. We have to get something right sometime. So maybe this is it. And we've had so many false dawns with Pochettino, with Mourinho and Nuno and Conte and Stellini. We thought Stellini might do a better job. So, you know, all we can do is, I know it's hard, but we need to trust in the decision makers here and hope that they get it right this time. If they don't get it right, you can be sure in 18 months or 2 years' time, we'll all be sitting here saying exactly the same thing as we're saying now. And our only hope is that does not happen, that we get things right this time and start being a real progressive club that's going to cement a place in the top four. Because look at the top four is expanding rapidly now. You could say it's the top 7 or 8, the way things are going with the Newcastle money and the resurgence. So that's crowd down the road, which I'm hoping is only temporary. You know,
please don't, Philip.
You know. I think that Tottenham have got to really make a statement now with this managerial appointment. Really have to.
Where do you think it will go, Philip? Just to confirm, there is the Nations League semi-finals and finals on between June the 15th to June the 14th to the 18th. And the teams are Holland, Croatia, Spain, and Italy. So that's what we've got to look forward to in the summer. We might even do some watch-alongs to them, Philip.
Yeah,
To be
yeah,
fair, it might be good fun to do some of them.
yeah.
Um, Peter Ram says here, Philip, your theory of football success here is a bit of a firing a shotgun. Some of the pellets will hit the target.
Yeah, it depends how good a make the shotgun is, isn't it?
Mm.
You know, if you buy a good make of a shotgun, it'll be accurate. You buy a cheap one, it'll not. So
No.
same thing, really. I mean, I'm the eternal optimist when it comes to Tottenham. I am probably mad in the head, but I always think the best of the club. I think we're going to get it right. Because if you don't, you sink into depression. You know, I've sat for the only thing that's worse for being a Tottenham fan at the minute. I would hate to be a Chelsea fan at the minute. Six defeats on the bounce. You know, we think we're bad and we're getting all the press. Yeah, they're far worse than we are.
Mm. Well, I can give you a bit of an update on the Xabi Alonso. He won't join until the end of the season, so we know that he won't. Yeah,
but your Leverkusen are in the semi-finals of the Europa League. Why would he?
But it goes on to say he might. So he might start before the end of the season. Levy's going to continue his pursuit of Alonso, but Arne Slot is also in the reckoning as well, as Daniel Levy is a admirer of him.
Yeah,
so we got Slot and Alonso. So this will rumble and rumble, Philip. And look,
I can't see Alonso coming. No, I can't see Alonso leaving Leverkusen until they're finishing the Europa League.
No,
I mean, that would be suicide to do that.
Yeah,
you won't do that.
As you know, that he has met already with Alonso. Now he did go to Germany with Scott Munn, so that's where he was going. So he's met with Alonso. He's also an admirer of Slot. So where do you think, Philip, this will go? Look, I think Alonso will become my manager. It's just my own personal opinion. If Levy's met him and there has been some talks, then maybe he's come out with some, positive thinking. Okay, he's interested. He is interested. He wants the job.
Yeah, I mean,
where do you see this going?
I think it may come down. I've seen this written somewhere. Daniel Levy is wary of young managers, right? Which leads me to believe Alonso probably has the favourite tag because he's 41. He's a little bit more experienced. Slot's 30 something, and Nagelsmann's 35.
Yeah.
So I think that may run against them in the end. Although Slot has done a great job with Feyenoord. He's broken the Ajax stranglehold in Holland, and they're walking away with the Dutch league. So he'd be a good case. I mean, we've been talking about him for a while, and he certainly would be a good case. Again, I think he would possibly have a huge buyout clause in his contract, so that might scupper it, So, but when you take the traditionally tight-fisted way Levy does things, he's going to go for the manager that probably cost the least, and I think that could be Alonso. And that's no reflection on Alonso. He's only a couple of years in the job, so Are you ready to
Philip is asking, Philip Brady, are you ready to mobilise with the Phil Army?
No, I'm totally peaceful. I'm totally anti everything like that, But it's.
He is really. Yes. He's a rebel behind the scenes. He is a rebel without a cause behind the scenes. He really is. And big up again. And thanks, Phil, for supporting the Wexford Tourism Board. Really appreciate it. But no, please, everyone, get behind the green and purple and gold to Tottenham Soul banner. It really is important. We all get behind it. We've got Kate says we won't be top 10 next season, in my opinion.
I think we will. I think we will. Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're not going to become this season has been an absolute nightmare from start to finish. Really, I don't think it's going to be repeated next season, providing the recruitment is good and the car boot sale takes place for the ones we don't want. I'm just seeing a few comments coming here about Pochettino wanting back. I would be very surprised. I just have this feeling. I wouldn't rule Pochettino out of the ruling at the minute. But I was
actually going to ask you that, Philip, about why he hasn't been announced at Chelsea yet. What's your thoughts into that?
Well, my thoughts are if we are a club that's in some mild chaos at the moment, Chelsea is an absolute carnage of what is going on at Chelsea, I just do not know. I mean, it's like watching Billy Smart's circus. I mean, Frank Lampard was called in to steady the ship. They've lost six games on the trot. Now, I can never remember any Chelsea team, or any team, really. That's relegation form. Losing 6 games on the trot. They're absolutely awful. I watched a bit of the game last night, and they were all over the place in the first half. They were literally all over. They were as bad as we were against Newcastle. Only Arsenal weren't as good enough to punish them, right? So that's why Pochettino's looking at this. He's looking at the chairman. He says, I'm after surviving Daniel Levy. Do I want to get involved with another clown like this? Because that bully, whatever you call him, is an absolute idiot. He's not fit to be in charge of a fish and chip stand at a market. Never mind a multi-million football club like Chelsea. And if I was a Chelsea fan, I've got friends of Chelsea fans, and they stopped watching them. They haven't watched a Chelsea game in weeks because they know what's coming. So why does Pochettino want to get involved with something like that? So, but apparently Levy hasn't even talked to him about the managerial thing at Spurs. So who knows?
Yeah, that's true. Look, I don't know, Philip, where we go from here. We've got hang on. Ben says the Wexers tourism board are going to give me the keys to the city at this rate with the amount I did.
You should open up a pop-up shop in Wexford, Ben.
You should do
coffee
down by the quay.
You'd make a fortune down there. You make a fortune in Wexford.
You would. You actually would down by the quay. And down by the quay. Big up Brian Daigle. Brian Daigle's in the house. I hope everyone in the chat, as well as Phil and yourself.
Brian, how are you?
Yeah, big up Brian. How are you doing? And let us know how everything is going with the protest with this new banner, purple and gold until we're sold. That is the way to go. And it's taken us a while to get there, hasn't it, Philip? But we've decided, look, enough's enough. We've had enough now, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to change. It has to change. And new beginnings with a new manager, but we cannot have the same mindset and the same restrictions placed on that manager as in the past. You guys got to come in and be backed to whatever level he needs to be backed at.
Yeah. Would you be happy if Alonso as Spurs manager? The poll I was running, Philip, 35% say yes, 65% say no.
I would say maybe that's because this is a new name on the block and people haven't really had a chance to let it sink in. Yeah, like we used to Nagelsmann and Slot and company's name. That's been bandied about since day one, really. Yeah. This is a new one on the block, and it seems to literally come up on the rails and overtook a lot of them. So I'd be happy with him. I would, because I'm looking at his record here. I know a good manager, a good player does not always make a good manager. Look at Frank Lampard. But I think Alonso could be. He could be our Jurgen Klopp, put it like that. As long as he's not as obnoxious as Jurgen Klopp.
Phil Peep says Wexford, the spiritual home of Enoch Levy out. I love it. Colin says, I think Poch to Chelsea's only a matter of time now. How bad were Chelsea last night, though, Philip? I don't know if you didn't see the match.
But it was on in the background. I saw the first half, and I thought they were all over the place.
They were. They're really. Hang on.
Second half they're a bit better, but not a lot.
I have got a bit of breaking news on the Poch front, so I actually used that one. Well, I'm just being told. I feel like Jim White with all this breaking news. I'm really loving this new role now. I've just been told that Poch to Chelsea will be done soon. So Pochettino will be going to Chelsea as their new manager. Philip, how do you feel about that? And how do you feel? Do you feel that his legacy or the fondness we have with him at Tottenham has now gone?
No, I don't think we can ever hate Poch. I mean, the guy's too likable to do that. I'm just surprised that he's chosen to go to a club like Chelsea. This is going to be the toughest. If he thought coming to Spurs back in whenever he came to Spurs, 2013 or 14, was tough, that was a walk in the park compared to what he's faced now. He's faced with a squad that's so top-heavy with the wrong type of players, big egos, huge salaries. Half of them can't get in the team. There's so many players out on loan, they've probably forgotten about half of them. that this is going to be a huge half. His job is going to be keeping a lot of players happy, which is going to be impossible. Impossible. He's going to have to sell half of them to get to make that squad. Like Bowley was buying players for fun, thinking he's going to win the league. Look what happened. You don't do that. So I think Poch is. I wish him well. Well, I don't wish him well. No, not at Chelsea. I think he's foolish to go there. He really is. He could have waited until the summer and got Real Madrid or something like that.
Yeah.
And we don't wish him well there. We can't wish him well at Chelsea because Chelsea, we do not wish things at Chelsea well. So, and I think he'll regret it. He'll not last 12 months.
Yeah, I think he will, Philip. I think he will regret it. Listen, do us a favour. Would you please hit that like button? We've only got 13 likes. There's nearly 30 of you in the house watching. Please hit that like button. Get that like button up to 20. It does help with the algorithm. And if you can do me a favour, I did a show by myself yesterday. I'm only 5 likes of 50. So if you can get me up to 50 likes on that, I would be extremely, extremely grateful. It's a big thing doing these streams on my own. I get very nervous. I don't like doing them on my own. I like doing them with Philip. And in case the computer crashes or that, but I can bounce off the likes of Philip and that. So if you can, please do that show yesterday. I would be so, so, so grateful. And I'm so grateful for the views I've had so far. Thank you so, so much. Philip, another bit of news that broke during the night was PSG have suspended Messi going to Saudi Arabia. Now, the story behind this, he was asked to go to Saudi Arabia to do some commercial work. The club banned him, said you're not going. And now he's been suspended now for 2 weeks. Where do you think that sets a precedent? Will Messi just say, "Fuck you, I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna leave you and go back to Barcelona or go back to Argentina"? Or do you think Paris Saint-Germain are finally growing a pair of balls and say, "Right, this is our club. You do what we tell you to do"?
It's a bit of both. No player should break the rules like that.
No.
I mean, he'll never play for PSG again now. I don't think that's him gone. No. I don't know what length of contract he has, whether it's up at the end of the season or is another season.
It is. It's up at the end of the season, I think.
Well, that means he'll walk away. He'll do a Ronaldo on it. He'll walk away he'll go to Saudi Arabia and pick up a couple of million a week and finish his career tapping the ball around, not even breaking sweat in the game. Which is sad, it's sad. But the club were right to clamp down on him. I think he shouldn't have done what he did. But it just shows you these superstars. Ronaldo went off to Saudi Arabia there at the start of the season, earning some obscene amount of money every week. And since he's gone, the club has gone into free fall. They've been knocked out of every competition. They'll win the league at a counter. They've lost that. The manager's been sacked because Ronaldo didn't like him. So these superstars have a habit of disrupting teams. So maybe that will make them think twice for bringing Messi. No, I don't think Messi is as divisive a character as Ronaldo. I think he's a more measured and down to earth. I'll tell you one thing: if Xabi Alonso has any cop and comes into Tottenham, it wouldn't be worth a punt to get Messi at the lane next season.
Oh, I've bought Messi so many times on FIFA. I rarely have.
Wouldn't there be something else it's happened before. Some players at the end of the career have gone off. Like Ronaldo going to Saudi Arabia, like basically to a Sunday league team. It'd be fantastic if we got Messi, but okay, he'd have to take a pay cut. We couldn't afford to pay a million a week like he's getting at the minute. But we can but dream.
And Colin says Messi is watched. And yes, Colin, I am on for tonight, so just send me the link later. I will be over there. If you want to put your show into the chat as well, or send me your channel link via WhatsApp, I will pin that into the chat so everyone know where to find you as well. And he said there's no United bias there at all. Oh look, we had you on for the watch long, and it was an absolute honour to have you on. And as I said, we want you on at the end for our end of season review when we do a Premiership review of the whole Premier League. So we'd love you on as well to give you a United point of view. Philip, before we finish up now, I want to do something. Where is it now? Here it is. Please, if you can, do a Højbjerg. which leads me on to Højbjerg, which I thought was good. I thought that was a good link up to Højbjerg to myself. I worked that out. Captains. Would Højbjerg be a good captain for next season?
Yeah, well, I think he plays in the right position to be a captain. I always think a captain should be either a defensive centre back or a midfielder who can see what's going on in front of him and behind him. I don't agree with goalkeeper captains, never did. And even having a Harry Kane as a captain, probably he might be too far up the pitch at times to see what's going on behind him. So yeah, Højbjerg possibly would be. Other candidates for it would be the likes of Bentancur, I think.
Yeah.
Some of the players in the middle.
Romario.
Well, if he stops eating red meat and starts timing his tackles a bit better, yeah, possibly. But
and stops thinking about Mia.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but my worry about Romero as a captain, if he ever went up to question the referee about a decision, he might end up giving him a Glasgow handshake. It's just he's that highly strung.
Yeah. Kate, it was lovely having you on as well. And listen, what we'll do is I'm looking to start it this Friday. Is we're going to do the 1 o'clock show will be either Thursday, maybe tomorrow we might do it. We'll do a fan show, bring you on Newsbeat, and we'll get people's view of the latest news, me and Philip, and we'll get people on to come on, talk about the latest news, and hear what your thoughts are on the news. So something new we might be bringing in. Philip, we're going to end it off there. Any more breaking news? Of course, me and Philip will be back. Philip tonight, of course, is being a he'll be outset. He'll be doing his Tom Jones impression at the bingo hall for the over 70s and 80s with his big medallion. And also,
I'll get you back for that, boy. I'll get you back for that. Don't worry.
Kim Kardashian as well will be there.
Yeah, right. I'll never forget that one either.
As for what Mrs. B's got to say about it all, we might hear an RTE news man in Leitrim gone missing.
Or if I've got a a couple of black eyes or something,
Yeah, we might do a special stream.
Yes. Keep going.
Listen, man missing in action. Have you seen this man? We've got
right.
Terry White. Before we finish off, Terry White. Ooh. Can I bring you a bit of international news?
Yeah, go
on. I don't know if I'm reading this right. I'm actually gonna. I haven't got it, so I am gonna do this now. But this is actually a bit of international news. Forget the Spurs bit of the news. Let me see if I've got this right. Yeah. Russia claims it's foiled an assassination attempt on Putin.
It's foiled an assassination attempt?
Yeah. Now, that's just broke.
There is talk of a lot of this unrest in Russia.
Now, I don't like talking about politics on this show, or we don't. But as for what's happening in Ukraine and the atrocities that's happening there, I find that quite odd that it hasn't been taken out already. But I just saw it there, and I just thought I'd just bring it in. Sorry.
Well, that's it. It's the thing with Russia. I read some in the paper this morning that because of the sanctions, it's no longer safe to fly in Russia because the planes aren't even being serviced. There's no parts to replace the worn-out parts, and it's only a matter of time before there is a major air crash in Russia. But there is a lot of the sanctions are really biting, and there will be people now that won't get a Putin. So that doesn't surprise me.
And this sort of leads me on to my last question, Philip. Before we go, the likes of Russia and Belarus are being banned from international football and sporting events around the world.
Right. So.
Wimbledon have let them in to compete at Wimbledon this year.
Big mistake.
Now, how long does FIFA and UEFA keep teams like that from them countries out of the European and European competitions and World Cup? Should it be an extensive ban, a bit like how South Africa was banned back in the early 80s for the apartheid? Should governing world body sports ban people from then until this is over, or do you feel it's unfair on the athletes themselves who have no association for what's happening?
It doesn't matter if they were allowed. If a Russian team was allowed to compete in the World Cup or the European Cup, or whatever way you want to say it, Putin will manage to get some propaganda in through the message that the team was still in the competition. So they should no Russian athlete, no Belarusian athlete or team should be allowed in any worldwide competition. Wimbledon have made a big mistake there. And as long as, as far as I'm concerned, the Russian and Belarusian teams are kept out of it until such time as the Ukrainian situation is resolved and they either apologise or get beaten.
Yeah.
So they should be gone.
And our thoughts and prayers are with everyone in Ukraine. And let's make that very, very clear. Absolutely. Right, Philip, we're going to leave it there. We've got, well, we'll come back on if there's any more breaking news. If not, be me and Ellie. Why Philip's doing his Tom Jones impression tonight with this big medallion.
I'll get you back for that. I'll get you back.
Yeah. No, come on. Philip knows it's only a bit of blackguarding. It's only a bit of blackguarding. And Simon Gibbs, please don't talk about this as you really don't know what you're talking about.
Well, we're entitled to our opinion.
Yeah.
Right. We're entitled to our opinion. I think our opinion will be shared by most people and reasonable people as well, you know.
Yeah. So if you want to put what please put in the chat what you don't think what we're not talking about. I would love to know. But we are entitled to our opinion. But big up, thank you for commenting. But please let us know what we don't think. Please don't talk about this as you don't. Please put in what we're getting wrong. That's all I'm going to ask. Ellie says, I've just come out of my physio, lads. I'm ready to take Diane's place. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay, Ellie. We'll see you later.
That's that.
Yeah, that's that. Philip, we've got a few shows coming up. Of course, we'll be back later with any breaking news on the managers front. Then tomorrow we're back with Newsbeat. We'll probably turn it into a bit of a fan show. And then Friday, we want to build up for Palace. And then Saturday, we're around the grounds, aren't we?
Yeah.
And because Saturday is the final Saturday for the Championship, League One and League Two. Yeah, so we will be looking after that. And then, of course, then we've got the Champions League, the FA Cup, and we've got loads of watch-longs coming up. We might even do the Championship playoff final as well for a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, this should be a good game.
Should be a good game. But anyway, Philip, thank you so much for watching me this morning. We'll end as we started with the breaking news. I can confirm that Levy has met with Alonso to discuss the vacant role of Spurs. He is very interested in that point. The poll has now been closed. And the poll is, Philip, I shall let you know, 64% say no, they don't want Alonso as Spurs manager. 35% say yes.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. And then just a few more comments before we finish up. Okay, this one. If you ban Russia and Belarus, you have to ban the USA and UK.
I behind that one. Did the US or UK invade anybody recently? I don't think so.
No, I get what he means. I do understand. And look, from an Irish point of view, I get what he means too. So I understand that. And he says, thanks. Look, everyone's entitled to their opinion on this channel, aren't they, Philip? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but no, but what he's saying, though, like, I mean, to ban, I think to compare Russia and Belarus to the US and UK at the present time, there is no comparison, really. You know,
no, there isn't. No. We've got David Clark's just popped in from the name. Big up, David. How are you? Big up. You're late, but thank you for joining in. Kate Boxer says, I can't believe there's football on during the coronation.
Yeah, that's true. That's very strange, that actually, yeah. I mean, when the Queen was buried, everything was cancelled. And you think they'd be the same for the coronation. Just Saturday.
Is it this Saturday, is it?
Yeah, it's this Saturday, yeah.
So Charlie Boy's going to get a big crown on his head then?
Yeah, I wonder when he's finished, will he come down to the stadium and watch the match?
He might do, you know. Bring the missus along as well for it to get her a hot dog on a day out. If we ban everybody, we would still lose.
Right.
Disrespectful, if you ask me. Outrageous decision.
Yeah, it's strange. Well, very strange.
Yeah,
you think, plus the fact matches in London, the police are going to be under enough pressure keeping the crowds back to have a couple of good football matches in London as well. So it's a very, very strange decision. I really can't understand that. Move all the games to Sunday. That's fair enough, but not have them on the day of the coronation. You know?
Yeah, I would leave it at that. Sorry, lads.
I don't need to be just you're entitled to your opinion. We're not. We mightn't agree with you, but you're more entitled to it. You know.
Yeah. But anyway, Philip, thank you so much for joining me. again,
No problem.
I've really enjoyed it. I've always enjoyed doing shows with you anyway. Always have a good laugh.
Yeah,
And
that's the
everyone,
way.
please get behind the Wexford Tourism promotion board. No, get behind the purple and gold to Tottenham are Soul banner. It's really important. We need a new change at Tottenham. We need the Spurs back, and this is the only way to do it. But do it peacefully, do it respectfully, and respect other people's opinions. I'm going to bounce out here because I've got things to do.
Same
Philip's
here.
now going to go and speak to Simon Jordan or try to get him on the show so Philip can shout at him. That I would very quickly before we go, Philip. I would love to see that you going head to head with Simon Jordan.
Nah, I wouldn't waste my time on them.
No, but if we could, that would be a show in the hell.
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
honestly, I wonder if everyone would like to see that. Big up Wexford. Nice colour combo too. I was a bit surprised the footy's carrying on, but I won't be watching it anyway. Clashes with Indian Premier League cricket.
That's actually I watched some of that. It's really good. Really, really exciting, some of those in cricket games. The 20-over game is brilliant compared to the test matches, you know.
Yeah, well, we should do a watch long for a 2020, Philip. That'd be good fun.
I mean, the amount of sixes been hit is incredible, you know. It really is. And the crowd, the Indians go mad for cricket.
Yeah,
jeez, they're really into it, you know.
Yeah. Well, listen, we'll let you go. Thank you all for watching.
Sure.
Come on, you Spurs.
See you later. Come on, you Spurs.
See you later. And somebody we trust.